Grumpy here. Welcome to this edition of Fifth Quarter Roar. Let me tell you how we got here. I spent a few minutes trying to set the computer up and use Zoom to do the video and got my microphones out and all that good mess. And it took me about a half hour. And I'm like, why am I messing around with this? So I decided to pull the pocket computer out. It works just as well doing this and putting this content together. So here we are. My sidekick Josh is not here. I mean, you've seen him the post game fifth quarter roars, and he's working. So I figured I was just going to do this one solo. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to do the schedule formula, how they break the schedule down, which just came out a couple days ago. So first of all, you're going to have 6 home and away games against your division rivals. And for the Lions, it's the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings. Then you're going to have 4 games outside of your division, but in your conference. And this year we get the NFC East, which consists of the Giants, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Commanders. Then you get 4 outside of your division, but the other conference. So that would be the AFC. So this year we have the AFC North, which is the Steelers, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Ravens. Then you have 2 same conference games, NFC, based on your prior standings from the year before. So we have the Bucks and the Rams. And then you have 1 outside conference team based on your last year's standings, and we have the Chiefs. This year, we have 5 primetime games. Let me break that down. The only team that has more, or I should say teams, have more are the Chiefs with 7 and the Cowboys with 6. And then there's 5 primetime games, which is the Eagles, the Bills, Commanders, Dolphins, Chargers, Lions, Falcons, and 49ers. Then there's the teams with 4 primetime games are the Ravens, the Broncos, the Packers, the Bucks, the Rams, Seahawks, Steelers, and the Texans, and the Vikings. Then the teams that have 3 primetime games, Bears, Giants, Patriots, Raiders. Then the teams that have 2 primetime games, Cardinals, Jets. And then the teams that have 1 primetime game, Colts, Jags, Panthers. There's 3 teams that have no primetime games, Browns, Saints, and Titans. I usually try to do this blind, but this time I did actually take notes. So we're going to start the season off against the Green Bay Packers. We also have 2 Monday night games, and then we have that's the 2 of the primetime games. Then there's 3 Thursday games. There's our primetime games. Thanksgiving, December 4th is a Thursday night game, and then we're playing on Christmas against the Vikings. The Bears on week 18, that's the last game of the season, is still to be determined. I looked at the schedule and I'm still trying to figure out what game I'm going to make my pilgrimage up to Detroit to see. I haven't really decided yet. Okay, I think that pretty much covers the schedule. Let's talk about coaching. This year is the 5th season for Dan Campbell. We lost Ben Johnson, our offensive coordinator, and Aaron Glenn, our defensive coordinator. Ben Johnson went to the Bears. He's now the head coach of the Bears, and Aaron Glenn went to become the head coach of the Jets, moving Kelvin Shepard. He was promoted up to defensive coordinator, and they hired John Morton, who was with the team in 2022, and he helped put together the offense for Jared Goff. So those people that are talking heads out there that are talking about the Lions are going to suffer a little bit because of coaching changes, I kind of do not think so. We picked up David Shaw. He's the new pass game coordinator. He was the head coach of Stanford from 2011 to 2022. He also coached underneath Jim Harbaugh when Jim Harbaugh was at Stanford. Shaw, and one thing about David Shaw is his dad coached for the Lions back in the 80s, so he's kind of familiar with the facilities, but the Pontiac Silverdome facilities. Then we got Tashard Choice. He's the new running backs coach. He coached Jahmyr Gibbs when he was at Georgia Tech, so that's a plus. So Detroit Lions lost quite a few coaches without winning the Super Bowl. Usually you win the Super Bowl and you lose a lot of coaches. But I guess the other 31 teams in the league can kind of smell what Coach Campbell is cooking. And that is this version of Fifth Quarter Roar. So let me close this out by saying, let's go Lions. See you soon.